Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of uh, World Cinema Reviews. I'm your host, Frank the Vamp, and I got a very special edition today for you. Another guilty pleasure, and today it's another first in this channel. We're gonna do 3 films in one video. And I'm gonna dedicate these 3 films to one of my favorite movie series that I enjoy very much. It's about vampires, and it's just totally awesome. It's about Blade, and we're gonna talk about the Blade trilogy. And what's so cool about Blade? Well, what's not to like about it? Blade is it's based on a comic book, but half vampire, half human character that fights the vampires from taking over the world and killing people, feeding and stuff. And he does it in an awesome way with um, martial arts and a giant katana. That he's just an awesome dude, awesome crime fighter. Um, you can say that this is sort of a superhero movie, but I just love the concept of the character. I think Wesley Snipes plays it perfectly. I don't see anyone else. There was a. We're not gonna talk about the spin-off TV series that happened or nothing like that. I think that Wesley Snipes is Blade. There's nobody that can replace him. His martial arts are just impressive. His coolness. If you can tell, my Ray-Ban sunglasses are kind of a homage to Wesley Snipes. And because I just, let me tell you what I did. To watch Blade 2, I went to the movie theater with the glasses and a trench coat, and people looked at me funny. But I was able to get into the theater, and I think I intimidated the hell out of everybody because nobody wanted to tell me to take them off. But it was really cool, and the Blade films are so cool. So without further ado, let's talk about these 3 films. Let's talk about the original Blade. Okay, so what do I think about Blade? Well, first of all, before I start talking about any of these films, let me tell you that all the 3 of them I really enjoy. Blade is just so awesome. It blew me out of the water. It's just such a great film. It starts Wesley Snipes and Steven Dorff, and it's about this half human, half vampire. It happens when Blade's mother is bitten by a vampire while pregnant, and so Blade is born with all vampire strength, but none of their weaknesses. So Blade, unlike the other vampires, can walk in the sunlight, um, has resistance to some of the anti-vampiric things. However, he needs to drink this serum to hold his thirst because the vampire has a natural, intention to feed and become evil, and Blade just hates that. He's hell bent into killing all the vampires, sending them back to hell, quoting him, and he just does it in an awesome way. The film starts where Steven Dorff plays this um, kind of like raving dude that organizes this secret race where vampires trick humans into going there and thinking that this is just a regular raid where they can get high and they can get some sex and stuff like that. But no, it's all a trap where basically the vampires, all of a sudden, they turn the tables and they attack the humans and kill them and feed on them. And the movie's opening is one of the coolest ever. You know, it's goes with a really awesome soundtrack, man. It's a techno soundtrack that completely goes into and shows you how cool the martial arts moves are. I really enjoy martial arts films, and Wesley Snipes just choreographs awesomely. He fits into the coolness of the character, the violence, the special effects on this film. They blew me out of the water. This film, I mean, directed by Stephen Norrington. Um, it was released back in 1998, and you can watch this film today and it will still impress you. That's how cool the special effects are. The story follows how Steven Dorff, with his Deacon Frost character, wants to, uh, take over the world by invoking some ancient evil. Um, and in the meantime, he's kind of rebelling from the old vampiric ways, where vampires believe that they can coexist with humans and humans are food. But they kind of have to kind of play things, politically, so that they don't want to make humans aware of their existence. But Deacon Frost is like, forget that, man. These people are food. Do our humans consider it to cows? That's, to cattle. That's what he thinks of humans, and Blade tries to stop him, and there's just so many cool things about it. He meets this human character, a doctor, hematologist, that kind of knows something about how to cure, and try and talks to Blade about a cure. But I mean, let's just face it, man. This film is just awesome. Like I said, the opening scene with the dancing, you just gotta see it. I don't want to spoil any of it. Just let me tell you, the use of weaponry that Blade uses, it's just so cool. And his style just blew me out of the water, man. Watch Blade; it's just awesome. It's just a guilty pleasure. Like I said, I don't talk a lot about American films. This trilogy is something I just really enjoy, so I have to talk about it. Let's talk about Blade 2. Blade 2 is just equally awesome. I'm gonna say that Blade 1 and 2 for me just equally great. I especially enjoy Blade 2 actually a little bit more because it's directed by one of my favorite directors, Guillermo del Toro, man in Pan's Labyrinth. Remember, The Devil's Backbone, and me being a foreign director, I'm a big fan of his, and he doesn't disappoint here. Small spoiler here. Supposedly, he's that's one of the things I forgot to mention about Blade One. Chris Christopherson plays a pretty cool character, kind of a mentor role that kind of it's to Whistler, who kind of picked up this character Whistler played by Chris Christopherson picked up Blade when he was a kid and kind of taught him the ropes and they fight crime together. He's kind of his sidekick type thing, and he designs some of his weaponry as well. And the thing about it is that at the end of the first, somewhere towards the end of supposedly Whistler, passes away, attacked by vampires, but he really doesn't, and he's being kept alive, and he's trying to tracking him down, going all over the world trying to track him down, and but that's not the big plot of the movie. Is how this ancient vampire is trying to develop this new race of vampires. With an evil subplot there to conquer the world as well, but things kind of get out of hand, and the fight, the fights in this one they top the first one. More gore, more fights. Um, it's we see more awesome martial arts. We see Donnie Yen show up in this one a little bit there, a cameo. Um, but the ending fight with this weird mutant vampire nomad, man, is just awesome, and you just gotta see it. It's just equally cool. What can I say? I don't. This is like popcorn for the brain, man. And you see vampires, scary vampires, fights, gore. It's just awesome. Watch Blade 2. Blade 2 is just totally great. I mean, I can tell you that I recommend it. There's also the really cool thing about Blade 2, the comic relief of Ron Perlman, which some of you will know as Hellboy. He's so freaking funny, man. You just gotta love him. He's just a muscle-bound dude who's just so funny, and he doesn't disappoint in this. Watch Blade 2. Blade 1 and 2 are awesome. Now the ending one, Blade Trinity, a lot of money went into this, I can tell, an effort, but it fell short. To my expectation and to a lot of people's expectations, it didn't do as well on the box office as Blade 1 and 2, who were pretty successful. This one is directed by David S. Goyer. We see, which is the writer also. And there's some cool things about this film, but there's not so good. Still Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, but now we got newcomers: Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds, and we see Triple H and Dominic Purcell as Dracula. So the plot is kind of cool, very cool, and I thought that it would work just awesomely because the plot was involving that the vampires pretty much just had it with Blade, and they want to get the big boss, resurrect the actual Dracula, but it's not Dracula as we think. It's more of a savage, self-aware vampire that can actually walk in the sun, the same thing as Blade, and that it's something that cannot be stopped. It has body shifting, all kinds of powers that other vampires don't have, and he, he's pretty good. I mean, I like that, and I like the fact that he has the helpers, and Ryan Reynolds comes as this kind of comic relief. Jessica Biel comes as the eye candy. Dominic Purcell comes kind of like this power dude. Triple H, being a wrestling fan myself when I was young, I really enjoy. But the movie just falls flat. It's kind of too silly at times. It doesn't, it's cutting off the seriousness of Blade. Blade is a serious character. Blade is just, there's no need to give him the sidekicks, to give him comic relief. Chris Christopherson was all we needed. Oh yeah, there's other cool things. There's some small cameos that are done in this film. There is there's some cool things about it, but it just doesn't do it. What can I say? It was a sad. I didn't like the ending. There were a couple of endings. There's one release, the theatrical. There's one for the DVD. I actually didn't care for. There's another one that supposedly would have been really cool if it would have been explained more. That was kind of like the novel ending type of thing, but it couldn't be done because of some reasons and some resemblance of this film. There's some internet rumors here. I want Blade 4. I want a really good film that is based on Blade. Wesley Snipes can still reprise his role. I know he's into more of his years, but if it's going to happen, the last film was in 2004, 2005. I know it's been 10 years, but Wesley, if you're hearing this, man, do it. You can be Blade again. You can, shit, you're a vampire, dude. You're like, hey, I'm Frank the Bank. I know, man. We don't age. So, go for it. Enjoy these 3 films, man. The third one's a letdown, yeah, but it's still pretty good. There's some good things on it. Oh yeah, I forgot to say about the second one. Pretty cool, man. The vampires also join Blade to fight the mutant vampires. Pretty cool. Hope you love this video, man. If you like it, click OK. If you didn't like it, like me. If you didn't like it, tell me why. God bless you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Good night.